Steve Cooper, what a man, the man, the myth, the legend.
You've got so many men around you that are just going to suffocate the team. But he's getting
so many men around you. Suffocate you.
That's how we like it. No,
every time I look at Fulham, I say stinky.
And they're like the best team in the league.
They are unbelievable. Yeah. When you aren't playing against Chernobyl's finest.
Yeah. Genuinely. I might get absolute daggers for this. But in my opinion, De Bruyne is on his way out. What?
Hello guys, welcome back to BoreDraw, episode number 36.
Bosh,
36. That was quite good. I was off the dome.
Yeah, off the dome.
Off the dome.
Knowledge is flying.
I'll tell you what is off the dome. This week's end of football. The weekend.
It's been tapped.
That was off the top rope. Like, the results have just been all over the place. And it's just been a weird one. And we're going to start at probably the highlight fixture of the weekend, the one that's probably got everyone talking.
Yeah, one of the games of the season, I'd say.
Arguably.
Yeah, it was good.
But, yeah, Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 4. The one that kicked off the weekend of football. Wow. What a game.
Wow.
Do you want to know where I was when I was watching this game, actually?
Where were you?
I was in London in a place called Slim Chickens.
Oh, okay.
Like a little chicken fast food place.
Nice.
Mate. Unbelievable chicken. But, like, they've got TVs in, like, booths.
For the football?
Mate, I sat there eating, like, chicken wings and shit.
Love that.
Some little bit of, like, Texan toast and all that. It was good, you know. And then I look up and Ollie Watkins has put one past Ramsdale.
Ollie Watkins scores against us all the time. I've said this multiple times.
It was a good goal, you know. It was a good goal. The little step over to the left and then Bosch. I mean,
Saliba, one-on-one, he's probably one of the best defenders in the league. As an attacker, probably him and Van Dijk, you think, fuck me, it's going to be a long day if you come up one-on-one against them. But Ollie Watkins done so good. He had him for pace. Had him for pace and then took a really good first touch away from Saliba. And then it's well hard to do that when you're going away from goal to drill it into the other far post. Did it well.
You got to like counter your momentum, haven't you? Because
it was a good goal. Ollie Watkins, top player against us. His finishing is shit.
He is a good player, but he like in front of goal, he's just like he's like an offside merchant, and always just can't find a target. I don't know, but yeah, good player, and it was a good goal, and it sort of set the precedent for the game. I thought it was a bit nervy the start from both teams. Philip Coutinho had his first start since like December or something. It was something mad.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. Whenever a team is in like a bad patch or a player's in a bad patch, like Everton hadn't won in a million years, we give them a win. Coutinho hadn't scored a goal since, I think it was last October. We give him a goal.
Sounds about right.
If you want to get your form back, your momentum up, Bosh, come play Arsenal. Although, yes, the first half we were shit. So off the pace. I think we're a little bit rattled by
recent results.
1 point from the last 3 games. Not great when you're battling it out with Man City, who are an absolute points machine. So yeah, as soon as you go behind and you're losing the last few, you think, shit, is our title race crumbling? And then you equalise. We're quite good at that. We equalise quite quickly. And we've been quite good at that this season. Where
Big boy Bukayo.
When we could, the finish was disgusting, man. Let's talk about Bukayo for a second.
To Thierry Henry as well.
Yeah, that was nice. Bukayo,
mate, he caught that.
I gas him up so much, and it's because he's my baby boy. I love him. He's genuinely like the jewel in the crown for our team, and I've run out of like ways to describe him. But for a kid at 20 years old to put an entire title challenge pretty much on his shoulders, it's fuck. The kid's different, mate.
Yeah, and it was an unbelievably caught strike to just absolutely send it past Emi Martinez, who we'll talk about later. He had a bit of a mare this game.
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
But yeah, and then, what was it, 1-0, and then they scored again?
Scored, yeah. It was a nice goal from Villa.
The little fake from Buendia.
It was a well-worked goal.
I think this game, you really noticed the lack of Thomas Partey in the midfield.
Yes.
I think Jorginho has actually been quite good.
Yeah, he had a really good game against City, even though we lost.
Yeah.
And in this game, the whole team were pretty bad in the first half, so you don't want to single him out. But like you said, you notice when Arsenal have to defend, and especially defend in transition, My guy looks like he's running through like treacle, mate. He's so slow.
Both of their goals came from Arsenal transitioning from attack to defence.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like immediate counter attacks, but it was, you could see Arsenal falling back into defensive positions where lines of channels for pass and stuff like that, like channels where Thomas Partey probably would have stepped in to cut off that pass line.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you know when we played Man United and they had that one counter-attacking opportunity where they played it through to Anthony and he was clear one-on-one and Thomas Partey done this fat, like across the pitch sprint and beat Anthony to the ball? You're not going to get that from Jorginho. His covering pace is just... It's slower than me, and I'm not blessed with pace. But you've seen all those clips of like Jorginho like running besides the referee when there's like a transition, and he's just so much slower than pretty much every standard Premier League referee, bless him. But what I do like about Jorginho, and we'll get onto it in the second half, his attacking IQ is higher than Thomas Partey's by, I'd say, a decent amount. Thomas Partey is really good at... What he does is he's that one DM. He's the best solo DM in the league, in my opinion. He'll get the ball back every single time and give it to Odegaard and let Odegaard make the attacking movements. Whereas Jorginho won't win it back every time, so you lose that element of defensive stability. But he can play attacking balls like Odegaard. He doesn't do it as consistently as Odegaard, but he can play... he'll spray it left and right to Martinelli and Saka. He'll do a couple of times this game. He's done that kind of like dinked ball into the 6-yard box. He offers a wider range of attacking passing. So you get that element. And I think what everybody's saying when we sign Jorginho is the games where we are super dominating, he'll be perfect because you don't get caught on the counter as much. And when you play City, you're not super dominating. And the first half of this Aston Villa game, we weren't super dominating. But the second half of the Aston Villa game, dominated them like to no ends. And that's when he came into his element. Him and Odegaard were just picking up spaces, playing some nice, intricate attacking movements around the edge of the box, finding the attacking runners. And that's where we looked really dangerous. So many ideas on the ball.
I think, like, for me, it's weird because you guys have been, like, the amount of goals from midfield is outstanding. But this game especially, I thought you had, like, Odegaard had a really clear-cut open chance to have scored.
Yeah,
Eddie in the last few games had a few chances where he, like, the XG would have been astronomical.
Yeah.
But you guys are scoring, like, the harder goals, like the Zinchenko goal. I know the Jorginho goal, like, it's still a great strike. I know it don't go in directly, but it's a great strike. And like the Bukayo, it's not a super high XG guy. It's in a good position, but there's a lot of bodies between him, and he's also it's coming off like a deflection, isn't it? So the way he catches it, but like it is weird to me that you guys are making it so hard for yourselves. Like, and maybe the stars are aligning for Arsenal to win the league this season because they've managed to come back from like in the 90th minute or whatever, win 4-2, and like 2 goals in 90 plus. City couldn't grab an extra second goal against Forest to save their life. Like this, I heard this on TV earlier. That you said in the next dimension along from us, we're sat here talking about how City are now in the driving seat for the league.
100%.
But it is weird, and something that I noticed, especially across the City game and this game. This game, the Ollie Watkins goal, it comes from Zinchenko losing the ball. Last game, Zinchenko lost the ball for I think Haaland's goal.
Yeah, probably.
He tried to like do a back heel into his own box or something. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, on the edge of the box. Yeah.
We've really given Zinchenko the plaudits this season. I still think he has been outstanding. Like, and especially when he scored the goal against Villa, he literally like no celebrations, was straight back into this great mentality. He has made a couple of mistakes though. Yeah, which I probably wouldn't expect from a player like him.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the last couple of games he has had a couple of moments. But I think what you put that down to is he is given that kind of license to make mistakes by Arteta. He has got Zinchenko in saying, you're going to be the one to take risks. Ben White, you're going to settle into that defensive line, be the free. Zinchenko, you're the one that's going to get the ball. You see, he always tucks in, and some points he's ended up on the right-hand side. Some points he's playing like in the 10 position. He's allowed to just roam, take risks.
He does. You often see him push into that left 8,
Exactly. And so he's just allowed to take more risks on the ball than, say, Ben White or, say, Xhaka. Xhaka is either making that kind of late midfield run or he's tucking into left back. He's not allowed to make as many risky decisions, whereas Zinchenko, I think Arteta must just like his footballing IQ and can be like, yeah, I trust you to take risks when it's going to, like, the gamble is worth it.
Do you think... Well, I mean, like the gamble where he lost the ball in the Villa game, I didn't see. I think that's just a moment. That's just poor play. I think personally, but I also think, but that's early on. It's early on in the game. Whereas later on in the game, you could sort of expect it when he's the sort of player you look to. He'll go, look at this is me. I am that guy, and I'm going to take on that right winger and then quickly beat the man. We're going to have that extra space to play into because we're going to call one of their midfielders or their right back to come press me and we're going to free up space for someone else. So it is maybe sort of that mentality. But I don't think... I know I brought it up, but I don't think it's anything to like look too deep into. The Trossard versus Martinelli debate, I think it's weird because you're looking at two players who, although quite similar, quite different. Martinelli potentially a bit more explosive. I would say Trossard probably more intricate in a system of play, but I think if you have both of them 100% fit, Martinelli's played a long string of games, and yeah, his output has fallen off a bit. But like he's not got the same link up with Jesus because Nketiah is obviously in that role at the minute, so his role has changed inadvertently because of that. So I think having the Trossard dynamic there is really interesting because it does give you something different in an area of the pitch where you're not so sure what you do have.
Yeah, I think the thing with Martinelli and his drop-off in form, I'd say he's still doing the same things, but with Zinchenko taking on more of like a central midfielder role, he's leaving. I'll see if I saw... a pass map from, I think it was the City game or it might have been the Everton game. And you can see how isolated Martinelli is. I'll send it to you and you can whack it in the vid. But you can see that like Ben White and Saka on that side, because that duo is so solid, so consistent, and Ben White has a very specific role. It's go into the rest defence with Saliba and Gabriel or overlap with Saka. There is pretty much his only two roles. Whereas, like, because Zinchenko has the license to do pretty much anything on the pitch, he can go over to the right, play in the middle, overlap, underlap, play the 10, whatever. It leaves Martinelli not really knowing what Zinchenko's going to do, and he can't build this kind of underlap, overlap relationship because Zinchenko's all over the place. So what Martinelli is having to do is deal with the winger of the opposing team and that sided fullback doubling up on him, and he's got no one to kind of really like
play off.
Yeah. Whereas Saka does, and so Martinelli is getting isolated. And so I think it's nice now that we have another option in Trossard who can do a different thing to Martinelli, where Martinelli's more like hold the touch line and drive at the fullback. Trossard's quite good at linking up play, he'll tuck in. But yeah, I think Martinelli's drop off in form is just because his link up with Zinchenko is very different to Saka's with Ben White.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I mean, I think your run of fixtures now is quite favourable. I don't think you've got.
It's all right. It's not as favourable as City's, but it's favourable.
You've got City again in just under a couple of weeks.
So next we got Leicester, then we got Everton again, which is sticky, and then I think it's Brentford City.
Yeah, it's actually not that good, is it? No. I mean, you'd hope to probably you get 9 points out of every game apart from the one against City, but
yeah,
I think this title race is a few more twists and turns to go. We're not even near the end point of the season, really.
Yeah, what was I watching earlier?
I was like 26 games. 28?
Yeah, so this is game week 26 coming up, or 25. But yeah, who was I watching earlier? I was watching a podcast and someone said that like they thought that once City had beaten Arsenal, City were just going to steamroll and get like pretty much undefeated until the end of the season. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think them and Arsenal are going to be quite similar neck and neck. They'll win 2 or 3 on the bounce and then lose one that you think, fuck me, that's the end of the title race. And then the other team will lose one and think that's the end of the title race. I think it'll be very much hit and miss till the end of the
Yeah,
season.
and
especially with European football coming back.
Yeah, European football come back into. I think Arsenal were quite lucky in the sense that
They didn't have to play the extra
they're
one.
not they're not playing the Champions League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Whereas,
we've got Thursday nights.
yeah, but
And I think we're in with a good chance of winning the Europa League as well.
potentially, but I mean,
But then it's like, how much do you weigh that? Would they like turn that aside
it's
to win?
It's a hard argument because maybe you don't want to jeopardise your Premier League chance, but also like don't throw away the chance of winning.
But it's the same with City. This is probably their best chance ever to win the Champions League. Will they turn that away to win the Prem?
Maybe that's why it's a bit favourable to Arsenal, because Arsenal, I don't think could give a I don't think you really care.
Yeah, we don't care as much about the Europa as City do about the Champions League.
I think City would be very happy if they didn't win the league this season.
Oh yeah, 100%. If they won
the Champions League,
100%.
It'd be massive.
We should just make a pact with them. Well, not that we can help them win the Champions League. We could send a couple of players there.
City are in trouble for too many dodgy dealings already. Allegedly. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think a result like this is massive because you've had like a bad run. You've lost to Everton. You've drawn against Brentford in sort of like somewhat touchy circumstances with the VAR stuff.
Yeah, we got shafted.
You've got pretty much done by City. I mean, Arsenal were the better team, but to come away and lose that game 3-1 is going to be devastating, especially to like your imminent rival.
Yeah, 100%.
You've thrown away top position in that game. And then you come into this game, and within like a couple minutes, you're 1-0 down to Ollie Watkins. Unai Emery, good evening. He's sat there, mate. He's saying, good morning, guys. And he's slapped Arteta across the face. You know what I mean? Just and you must be thinking, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day.
Mate, and you come out of it in the 98th minute. Emi Martinez, howler.
He loves it as well. He saw the fucking headlines. 100%. Emi Martinez against Arsenal rescues a late draw. Well, it'd be World Cup hero Emi Martinez. Suck your mum. As Unai Emery said, no keeper goes up and scores a header. That happens 1 in a million times. It's Alisson.
Oh, Senny Dieng.
Senny Dieng. It happens like 1 in a million times. As a manager, and then I think Emery must have been thinking, I didn't give the go-ahead for this donut to run up.
In the words of Stormzy, he's getting big. Wait,
a little bit too big for his boots.
A little bit too big for his boots.
He actually might be, because I think he's got an ego, undoubtedly.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think
keepers need it.
It works.
I don't mind it.
90% of the time, it works for him. He's a great keeper. He's literally won the World Cup. Have an ego. I love watching it. It's great entertainment from a neutral fan
100%.
point of view. And if he plays for you, you love it.
Yeah, he's one of those players to a T.
When it goes wrong, and I'm not saying he was shithousery. Like he actually wasn't a massive shithouse this game.
No,
a little bit of time wasting.
Time wasting from like whenever Ollie Watkins scored the first goal. I think from like the 13th minute.
But the Jorginho strike, and it rattles back in off his head, and it is, if the stars haven't aligned, for Arsenal to win the league, they have now, because Martinez scoring a goal off the back of his own head, mate.
Yeah.
See you later. The ball's in the back of the net. It's just, you couldn't write it. It's poetry in motion.
Yeah,
Love's got the world in motion.
The Premier League story writers are loving it. I was saying to you before the pod, it's nuts that we were playing Chelsea earlier in the season. Xhaka and Jorginho were having a scrap in the game. Fast forward to now.
And they're lovers.
Jorginho is giving Xhaka a piggyback as they celebrate Jorginho scoring a last-minute winner for Arsenal.
From scrapping to shagging.
Scrapping to shagging.
I love.
But don't do that. We don't like scrapping and shagging. I don't know.
Who knows? Anyway, we're going to come back after the break, and we're going to be talking about Manchester City,
or as we called them a couple of pods ago, Manchester Shitty.
Potentially. Are they better or worse at Haaland? Who knows? We're not going to talk about that again because everyone's run that topic into the ground.
Are they better or worse with Foden?
Oh, Steve Cooper, what a man, the man, the myth, the legend. He's doing it. He's the man right now.
He is.
But it's interesting because I've seen a lot of people drawing up the list for potential manager of the seasons. I personally don't think you can look past Arteta if Arsenal win the league. I think that's 100%. A given.
100%.
But without being boring and saying shit like that, I think you've got to go Marco Silva or Eddie Howe.
Yeah. But I really like underrated managers of the season, Stevie Coops and De Zerbi.
Well, I think Stevie Coops was written off.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Marco Silva came in Fulham came into the Premier League pretty much done well from day one. They beat Liverpool on the opening day, didn't they?
I'm coming for you. Every single other podcast that said, "Oh, Nottingham Forest have made too many signings. They won't be able to gel their squad. They're going straight back down." No, that's pathetic shit podcastery. And right now, off the dome, got too many to list that said that.
Too many, but he's gonna write a tweet longer. Don't worry.
I'll have a receipt.
But yeah, literally, where were we? We're talking about Man City Forest before you went on your run.
Since 2023 started, Forest 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss.
They're just doing it. That's
like Champions League form.
Brennan Johnson flying. Chris Wood, mate.
Morgan Gibbs-White. So obviously they had a plethora of signings. And I like Morgan Gibbs-White as a player. On Football Manager back in the day, he used to be an absolute wonder kid, mate.
Get him early from Wolves, isn't it?
Different gravy. But
he's good.
I was like, yeah, he's good. But is he like 45 mil? But I think I've just come to the conclusion the market is fucked. I saw a tweet earlier that was like, is Jude Bellingham really worth 120 million? Of course he fucking is.
Mate.
He's 19 years old. He's probably the most talented English midfielder we've had since like Paul Scholes. He's captaining German like title charging
Borussia Dortmund.
So he's Champions League, he's slapping Champions League.
He literally was like the second player under 20 to score like 4 successive Champions League games.
Yeah, so he's slapping Champions League records around. He's captaining a Champions League team. He's 19.
He was like he was probably England's best player at the Euros.
Yeah. Of course he's worth 120 million. He's still under contract as well. When you've got the likes of Mudryk, who's had, I think, 4 stinkers in a row now, costing 100 million.
When you aren't playing against Chernobyl's finest. Yeah.
Genuinely.
Mate, you can't do nothing.
Moises Caicedo, yeah, he's all right, but
80 million?
80 million for him. Jude Bellingham should be worth... If I see those numbers, I'm like, fam, 200 mil minimum. So don't even talk to me about Jude Bellingham. You didn't like my most talented midfielder since Paul Scholes?
I don't know.
I'd say, like...
Michael Carrick is better.
I'd say Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard were better midfielders. They had like the output, but like technical ability, like Foden tech-wise. Paul Scholes had that tech.
Jack Wilshere, more talented.
Yeah, but he's been absolutely shagged, and I hope that doesn't.
No. But like in terms of just pure talent,
yeah,
Wilshere came on the scene and he was.
He's actually done a Jude Bellingham, didn't he? Because
he done the opposite. He
done a Jude Bellingham in the sense of like Jude Bellingham had that kind of coming of age Champions League performance against Man City, where everyone was like, he's going to go
against Barca, right?
And Wilshere against Barca. So he's done that, but then Wilshere just got absolutely played into the ground, and his legs are made of creme brulee. But Bellingham. This is a completely different topic, but Bellingham worth like so much money.
Also,
Morgan Gibbs-White.
Morgan Gibbs-White, yeah.
45 mil, I was like, a little bit steep. But he's looking like worth every penny because he is dictating the attacking movements that Nottingham Forest do so well. He's linking up with Brennan Johnson so well. And whoever they play up top, Chris Wood, Awaniyi, who's that new guy? Scarpa, him as well. Yeah, I really like what Gibbs-White doing. He's taking
I think this season has proven to everyone that Jesse Lingard is not it. Yeah. He needs to go to the MLS.
Mate, I saw like West Ham fans in the summer calling like, let's spend 40 million on Jesse Lingard. Mate, that is an absolute... they're doing shit, but
he had an absolute... Like, the golden streak of form. But I don't think he's ever coming back. I don't think he's it.
Mate, he's too busy making TikToks. Have you seen his TikToks?
Do you know what? Whatever makes you happy. Like, I'm not going to sit here and comfort someone who's just trying to be happy. I don't think he's a bad guy.
No, neither do I.
And
make a couple less TikToks, mate.
If he wants to act like a 20-year-old when he's like, 28, 29, 30, whatever, let him be. I don't have a problem with that. He's not hurting anyone. But I don't think that it is it.
No.
So, yeah. But yeah, Steve Cooper done really well. And City they were unbelievable this game.
Yeah.
But it's just, they are in some sort of slump. And we've spoken to death about Haaland and whether he's a problem or not. The conclusion is if you have Haaland in your squad, he's in your team because
100%. I saw Pep come out and say that he was like happy. This is like one of the best performances they've had.
I think they were good.
And yeah, I think
it's that
we can't read
neon yellow shirt they're wearing. Man.
Yeah, I think we can't read too much into it because They had, 2.81 XG? So on genuinely, 9 out of 10 other versions of this game, you were talking about the other dimension earlier. In the 9 other dimensions that this game is played in, Man City win all of them about 3-4-0. It's just one of those days where Foden, he was in one-on-one, absolutely shat the bed and didn't square it. Haaland had a sitter, blasted it over the bar. So, who was it? I think Laporte had a header that got saved off the line.
I think,
it's one of those days.
You speak about Foden, and obviously there's been the rumours about his alcoholism.
Luke's adamant this Donny has now.
No. One day I text Rod saying that Phil Foden's an alcoholic.
He had my ankles.
But he does have a vape addiction, isn't it? That's what him coming around.
You should get him on.
I've actually given up vaping.
Yeah, you should get him on the straight and narrow that you're on.
Yeah, apparently after he doesn't have a goal bonus, he just gets given health bars.
Who was it that was on the bench this weekend that I saw that was putting the tobacco?
The United
thingy?
game.
Yeah, who was it?
No, was it United game?
I can't remember what game, but yeah, he was doing the what is it called?
The nicotine,
nicotine gummy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on?
What who was it, man? I think it's behind Ten Hag, no?
I can't remember. Was it? Oh no.
No. But yeah, anyway, Phil Foden. I think if he had played the 90 minutes or 70 minutes in the last 4 or 5 games, he makes that pass to Haaland. Yeah, I think in his head he's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He's got the defender closing him down, and he's like, "Oh, a goal here could really help me because I mean I haven't played."
Not in Pep's starting 11,
and it's understandable. He gets caught in 2 minds. The ball gets caught on his feet. You look at strikers; they come back and they have to shake off that rust. They'll miss a few easy chances. Same thing for midfielders. Midfielders they'll shag a pass, they'll absolutely shank it to no man's land, where they'll make that pass every time with they're playing 90 minutes. So I don't think there's anything to be worried about. I think you got to look at him and think he's getting in those positions though.
Yeah,
and that position is where you want someone playing off of Haaland. Get him in the 10 role. Pep Guardiola, right now, I'm talking to you. Josep Guardiola. I forenamed him.
Pep.
You're having issues. I will solve your issues, right? Phil Foden in the 10.
Yeah.
Phil Foden in the 10. Behind De Bruyne in the 8. And just let Rodri do his thing, yeah? Jack Grealish.
No Gundogan or Bernardo Silva.
Don't matter, man.
Oh, they're good, though.
Yeah, they are good. No. Besides Bernardo Silva, right wing. I think Mahrez is a luxury
Mahrez is
player.
my... he's the best City player this season, barring Haaland. He is!
I don't know about that.
The guy is a tech god.
I think Jack Grealish has been really impressive this season.
Yeah. Since the end of the World Cup, I think pre-World Cup he wasn't that great.
But all I'm saying is,
he's doing well this...
Why are we arguing? Because...
We've had a beer.
Phil Foden.
Last couple of episodes we haven't had beers.
Phil Foden in the 10 is what we've been calling out for.
Last couple of episodes we haven't had beers and we've been getting on swimmingly.
Okay.
Swimmingly. But we've had a couple of beers now because we're watching the Liverpool
still got to kick off on the BoreDraw Euro Tour.
And now we're absolutely on each other's neck.
Right. How would you set up City but get Foden in the 10? Or do you not think Foden in the 10 is the answer?
No, it is. And I think we're at a stage now where, and I might get absolute daggers for this, but in my opinion, De Bruyne is on his way out. What? De Bruyne, the best to ever do it in central midfield? No, but I think...
Mate, I was going to say it's a stinky opinion. It's an opinion.
I think he's still great, and in a team like Man City, you don't need that turn of pace to kind of win the ball back as easily because you've got so many men around you that are just going to suffocate the team. But he's getting
so many men around you. Suffocate you.
That's how we like it. No, like erotic asphyxiation.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Headline breaking news. De Bruyne loves erotic asphyxiation. Anyway, what am I talking about? De Bruyne, I think he's getting a little bit burnt for the pace, and he needs to do like one of those moves where he comes out the 10. Moves into central midfield deeper.
I don't think he plays in the 10 for City though.
Well, I think they count that position as his.
They are so technically good, and they are so well. Yeah, they're very well endowed across the pitch. Just like everyone is unreal, right?
Everyone's got massive cock.
Everyone's got those massive football brains. big football boots, big football brain. But yeah, he plays like a 10, but he's very deep.
Yeah.
Like, he will pick the ball up on the halfway line all the time. He doesn't play centrally either. He plays a little bit out to the right or left, depending on if Bernardo Silva's playing that role, if Gundogan's to his side.
I think if you play De Bruyne, you need workhorses around him. You need Bernardo Silva because he's so tenacious. And then I like Jack Grealish's work rate this season. I didn't think he had that in him, and I think that's a combination of him. I think he didn't have it in him, but has like got it in him because everybody around him's doing it.
He's clicked what he needs to
and
fit into.
He's like, shit, if I don't put the work in, I'm gonna fall out of this team.
I think we saw him put the work in, and then his attacking output fell. Yeah. And I think he's now sort of getting that confidence back where he's like, instead of making the pass, Pep's like, go for you can take on the man, doesn't matter. Like, you can break the system to an extent.
Yeah.
And he is getting to more dangerous positions. He's playing off his striker more, whereas at Villa, he would fuck the striker off. The striker doesn't matter. You just get into the box. But
you know what I've decided? Right. To get De Bruyne and Foden in, you play 4-4-2. So you do
like Foden.
So you do a midfield of Rodri and De Bruyne, and then you do
Foden off of
Haaland.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not too far off what I was saying. Like, you go for like a...
And then you can swap him with Julian Alvarez if Foden's not working.
Yeah, you go for like a 4-3-3, so it doesn't really matter who City have in the back line. I mean, you got Edison, probably Kyle Walker at his peak. You got maybe Diaz and Laporte.
Yeah.
Or Stones even.
Stonesy.
Yeah, I mean, left-back role is something that they probably need to look at into investing in. And then, Rodri, one of the best DMs in the world. You know, probably up there in the league in terms of like Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, not Fabinho, maybe Casemiro, something like that. And then I think you play De Bruyne as sort of like a sitting in terms of like a football manager term, like a deep line playmaker, because he doesn't need, like, he has been explosive in the past. Maybe save your legs a little bit now, try to extend your career a bit, play that deep line role. You've got the technical ability to do it. Phil Foden as that sort of like a really advanced 8 where he's like bordering on like sitting that 10 role, but he's playing in that pocket behind the striker. Maybe you need to get like an inverted left winger, because Jack Grealish loves to hug the touchline. He's not really an inverted left winger. I think maybe you bring in an inverted left winger, and then you play either
Kvaratskhelia,
unbelievable player. I've got to show you. I mean, I've been finding the funniest Osimhen TikToks on.
Oh really?
Mate, some of them are very suspect. Some of them very suspect. You'll know. But there's like the songs like Osimhen, banger. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take a little bit of time for City to grow into learning how to utilize Haaland perfectly in the system. Like, he's so different to what they've had for like the last 5 years. And yeah, I mean, there is no one right answer, but it is to play for Foden in the 10.
Yeah.
Utilise him.
I'm talking to you as well, Gareth.
Or maybe, mate, hear me out right. Summer comes. Real Madrid. Knock, knock.
Nice.
Is Kevin home? Here is 80 million. And you know what? 80 million for Kevin De Bruyne, no matter who you are, 31? That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Modric is like a bit
out. Cruz is out.
Cruz is out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like Barcelona storming La Liga. We need to do something. It's a big money move. 80 million. Go to the bank. On the way to the bank, you stop at the shop, and Pep's like, "Who's that in the window? Who's that doggy in the?" It's Jude Bellingham.
No.
Bellingham. Rodri, Bellingham, Foden.
That would be nice. But if I was Pep in that window, instead of going to Germany, I'd take a one-way plane to Naples and get Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for either. I just want to see Bellingham.
I want to see Kvaratskhelia in the Prem.
I want to see Bellingham in the Prem.
I want to see both. They'll both be in the Prem by... Can
you imagine?
This time next year, they'll both be in the Prem.
I don't know. Kvaratskhelia could be at any club in the world.
Bellingham will be in the Prem this summer.
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia might not be this summer, but January.
Like a January panic buy.
Yeah, from Chelsea.
Yeah, mate. Him, Modric, all lined up.
But yeah, no.
And you know who'll be playing? You know who'll be playing? Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, 100%.
He'll be their number one starter, man. Oh, mate, it's just a weird one. This game week has thrown us. We're clearly just sat here waffling for like
But yeah, Man City, I wouldn't read too much into it. On another day, you win 4-0.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Forest, love you for helping the title charge continue. And I think top half finish is on for Forest.
I think it's mad because literally about 6 weeks ago, we were literally like, yeah, Forest are pretty much down, Bournemouth pretty much down.
Bournemouth are pretty much down. But they got a win. What's going on?
But yeah, they got a fucking win against Wolves.
Our predictions, don't look at them. They've been stunk.
But I think our predictions are bad. But it underlies the magic of the Premier League.
Yeah, this week it was allowed because...
No, I think most weeks is allowed because the Premier League, you can't predict it. It's unbelievable. That's why it's the best league in the world.
Facts.
But yeah. Should we move on to a little talk about Liverpool?
I just want to stop off at London to say Chelsea, you're dog shit.
Should we talk about QPR for the last segment?
Yeah.
Let's talk about QPR.
So QPR sacked their manager.
Yeah, so we sacked Neil Critchley. He was stinking up the gaff.
Flashback to when Luke was saying on the pod, we're going up. There was a point in time where Arsenal were top of the league, QPR were top of the league. And it was happy days on the BoreDraw podcast. Luke, what's gone wrong?
Do you know what? It's a weird time in my life because I have rapidly fallen out of love with football. I've had to find, I haven't cheated on QPR yet, but I've had to find my pleasure in football from other areas.
The bloody Gooners.
Union Berlin, whatever the fuck's going on, the Premier League madness. I've really enjoyed watching Napoli.
Como and Ajax.
Como and Ajax, two great clubs. But yeah, I've just been exploring lots of other areas of football where I haven't really looked before. Because just when I look back at home, back inside myself, it's just depressing because how the fuck have we not won a game in 2012, mate?
In 2012?
2021.
2021, that's still wrong. What are you on about?
I just looked, it's a 21 one. 2023. I'm all over the place when it comes to QPR.
We've only had a beer. But yeah, so you had Michael Bill, you were flying. It was a very good piece of recruitment.
October, we were top of the
He
league.
was kind of touted as this manager that hadn't been given experience, but everybody in the scene knew he was a tactical mind.
Turns out he's shit.
You got him in. He was doing very well. And then Wolves came sniffing around.
Yeah, Wolves came sniffing around. We didn't win a game for 5 games.
Put out an absolute piece of marketing masterclass.
I can't be the first to bail. I can't be the first to jump ship.
I'm the captain. I am the captain now.
Look at me. And then
no one's jumping off this
literally,
shit. Bosh.
2 weeks later, Rangers come calling, and he's up there sucking dick behind the garages at Ibrox. Whatever. He's having a bit. I don't think they like him.
Yeah, they're not doing too great.
They're conceding goals. Mate, I'm here to watch them burn.
You get Neil Critchley in.
Neil Critchley, and do you know what?
It was an all right appointment.
Neil Critchley done very well at Blackpool.
His
very well
CV's
at Blackpool.
not bad.
Went to Villa as Steven Gerrard's assistant manager, and that didn't work out too well. But I think Neil Critchley is actually a good manager, and I think he's going to go to another job and do really well. I just think we are in a weird place, and we are not just two mantras just didn't meet. Didn't click. The players, I don't know. It's not good. But 12 games. We won his first game against Preston, and we went 12 games without a win. We are now 6 points off relegation. Bear in mind, we were top of the league in October.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's not bad. I'm not
That's
be funny
real bad.
yet. Les Ferdinand.
Les, we're talking to you.
Les Ferdinand. I'm going to come for you after the break because I've noticed how long we're in this recording, and I've got some words.
I don't know if we've said this before, but we have a camera that cuts off every 20 minutes, so we need to get up and then restart the camera every time. So yeah, it's not that we're just weird.
I'll be back.
We are weird, but yeah.
In your job, yeah, because I know in my job, if I made the wrong decision for 5 years in a row, just constantly making wrong bad decisions. One, I wouldn't be earning 400 grand a week or 400 grand a year.
I was going to say, fucking hell, he's a good footballer.
I would not be earning 400 grand a year. And two, I probably still wouldn't be in that job.
Yeah.
So when we've constantly got our recruitment and our managerial recruitment wrong and our backroom staff recruitment wrong, We were meant to be moving into a new stadium. New stadium has been touted since Tony Fernandez was a majority shareholder. He's since taken a step back. He's now a minority shareholder. Amit Bhatia is the majority shareholder. We are in just a place where no one knows what is going on. And I'm looking at the Premier League here and I'm seeing Fulham, like, where are they? Like 7th?
Yeah,
6th? I'm seeing Brentford.
5th?
Brentford flying.
Yep.
New stadium flying.
Bournemouth, even little old Bournemouth.
No, well, Bournemouth aren't our rivals. I'm looking at Fulham and Brentford.
I'm just talking about like
rivals.
But even like championship clubs that
Chelsea.
are coming in.
Chelsea is doing shit, but they've spent so much money that one day they're not going to be shit. Like, it's just like, where does it stop? Where do we hold ourselves accountable and say, right, we've made the wrong decisions? Because we went through a really sticky period where we came in, Bernie Ecclestone, the 4-year plan. We got promoted under Warnock. Warnock didn't we didn't give him the time in the Premier League that we should have, and we went down. We went down under Mark Hughes, spent just an unbelievable amount of money for that time. Chris Samba, like, what the fuck is that, man? And then we literally go back up and we've got the likes of Joey Barton, fucking Jose Bosingwa in our team. Like, it's like the Julio Cesar, man.
Yossi Benayoun.
I actually like Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah, same. He was an Arsenal.
He scored a last minute winner for us. I think it's Ipswich.
Yeah,
I might
like
be mixing up with
Yossi
Tom
Benayoun.
Hitchcock. But it was but now there is. We had such a good build. We've come back. We've sat in the Championship now for years, and we've literally finished 16th, whatever. And
got to make that push now.
We got Mark Warburton in, and the first season was all right, and then the second season was better, and we were literally like one of the best playing football teams in the league. Ilias Chair, Chris Willett came into his own, and then it fell off a bit, and we had like the stinkiest second half of the season ever, and fell out the playoffs, and it was like, okay, well, we go again next season, and then he leaves at the end of the season because we literally couldn't win a game to save our life. Getting Michael Bill, flying again, October.
But that's
we're
good.
top of the league.
Michael Bill's good recruitment, eh?
Really good recruitment. But like, and you see what I'm saying? Like, the problem is that there's no consistency here.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe what's keeping him in his job is like it's shit. Then good recruitment. So just as like maybe he was one shit recruitment away from losing his job, and he gets a banger, and that gives him time.
It's time now for us to move on. We need to get someone in who can take us further. Yeah, because the ceiling's been hit, and I know we don't have the most money to play with in the world. Like, we're terrified of FFP after what happened, and and we want to be a sustainable football club. But we bring through good players. You look at the likes of Abere Eze, Ilias Chair. We've revitalised Chris Willett's career. Like,
if you're a London club, you have a quality academy just by default as well.
I think if you're a London club of like any stature, you're instantly an attractive outfit
100%.
to anyone. But yeah, and so moving on to now, we've obviously sacked Neil Critchley, and we think it's going to be Gareth Ainsworth taking over the reins. And Ainsworth, I remember watching when I was like tiny, and I was like a young QPR fan. Him, Martin Rowlands, Mark Bircham, all them, man, just slapping up in like against like Sheffield Wednesday, Rushden Diamonds.
Come on,
do you remember those?
Come on,
Rushden Diamonds, mate. We used to play Rushden Diamonds away. But like, it was mental, and so he's done really well at Wycombe for the last sort of 10 years now.
Been there
taken from a League 2 outfit, pretty much with no budget, and got them promoted twice. They only got relegated from the Championship last time due to like a 90th minute goal from, was it Gavin Marn, or in like for Derby, got them relegated. So he's done well with like pretty much zero budget. His football though at Wycombe is pragmatic to the extreme. There was like, I think when they played, was it MK Dons in the playoffs, and they won 2-1 over the course of like 2 legs. But the stats were like, and I can't remember who was the guy who went to Martin Russell, the Swansea manager, or Russell Martin, and he was like number 1 in stats for like progressive passes, like pass retention, like chances created, everything. And Wycombe were 23rd in every stat compared to MK were top in every stat, and Wycombe was 23rd. But I feel, and instantly when we were linked with him, I was quite negative about it, and I thought, where's the progression? Where's the hunger to be like? We had Marty Cifuentes, the Hammarby manager, linked, and I was like, mate, go get him. He's progressive. He's a modern manager. You're looking at all these other clubs going in, bringing in like the likes of Bielsa and bringing the likes of like Wagner and Marco Silva. Where is our sort of hunger and desire to be those sort of progressive football clubs taking us
foreigners is what you're saying,
mate? I want to see exciting. I want to see exciting football.
Yeah, tiki taka.
Yeah, and just new ideas. And sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does. But like, let's be exciting. Let's be innovative, and let's take it to the Premier League. Like, but yeah, and so we're going with Ainsworth. I'm not too sure what to say about it. I hope it works out, but I think to be honest, for me, this season now is about staying up.
Nah, you'll be fine.
I genuinely, he's about staying up. I'm like, I'll hold my hands up for the last couple of weeks now. It's been settling in reality. It's a harsh mistress.
It is. Yeah. You've been through the ringer. You've had the highs and the lows.
Fucking like Chris Wilder's on the market, man. Get me Chris Wilder, bro.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of man on the market, like
Jesse Marsh,
who I don't mind.
I think he might
Rafa
be.
Benitez is on the market, and he's come out and said that he wants to stay in England because his family is settled here.
I think we might be a bit too low for him.
Yeah, but you got Bielsa who's on the market. There are managers on the market.
Yeah, but like you're talking about these like
Tommy Tuchel.
Yeah, you're talking about these elite managers, and we're shopping around in League One, mate.
Yeah,
like,
well that's the
reality of it. Like, maybe I think we should be progressing somewhere that the ownership and the board
don't see. Yeah,
and I know the QPR League Supporter Association, which is the oldest league support association in the country.
Shout out every time.
They're having a meeting with the board in some point in March, so hopefully we can sort of align our views and stuff. But it's at the minute it's quite
that's
depressing.
Always good. Yeah,
it's quite depressing, but change hopefully can be good.
Yeah, I think getting your views aligned with the board is always key, because that's kind of where Arsenal were in a stage where it was turmoil, and then we had like all the fucking what's it called, protests, and Josh Kroenke came out and said that we haven't been like transparent enough with the fans, and it's always been his dad Stan that's kind of like the arch nemesis, but that's because they never really engaged with Arsenal as a club at all on like a fan level. But now Josh is kind of, I think Stan has handed Josh kind of like Arsenal as an asset to Josh, and he is very much
hands-on,
and he has meetings with fan associations with Edu and Arteta, and you see him in All or Nothing, and he seems very hands-on and involved, and I think that's given the fans kind of like this sense of assurance that they're not talking into a void. They're talking, because I think a lot of times fans, they'll talk about the board but feel like their voices are going nowhere and aren't being heard because the board are this high place that no one can talk to.
For QPR, like I think our board, I think our ownership have actually been quite good to us. Like, they've stuck around even through like the FFP, and they've like helped us like become more of a sustainable football club. Like, our losses are nothing compared to what they are now. They were, but it seems like they're very loud and very proactive when we're doing well, and then when it comes to like when we're struggling, it's like you can't. It's like it's an empty void. You can't hear anything back.
Yeah.
You won't get a response, and I want to feel like we're a club who wants to push on and be leaders and be innovative, and I don't know whether these are the people who share the same ideals, because at the end of every club, every player, every fan wants their club to be the team that's pushing and going on and stuff. And like, not everyone's going to get that. That's just the nature of the beast. Like, only 3 teams get promoted, 3 teams get relegated, and that's how it's been. It's how it probably always will be. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But I like a discussion for another day is the fact of financial fair play, parachute payments, and the gap and the gulf between the Premier League and the Championship. Because you look at the teams at the top of the Championship right now, you've got Burnley, you've got Sheffield United, You've got Middlesbrough who are in third. Then you've got like Watford, and Norwich will be up there. Like
just
West
yo-yo
Brom.
clubs.
Where does it stop?
Yeah.
Where
so there's
does
like
it
a
stop?
gap, isn't there? There's a gap between clubs that are like consistently Championship, like you, and then there's a gap from them to yo-yo clubs like Watford, Norwich, Sheffield United.
You can come down and afford to keep their players,
and then there's
buy
the gap
players,
to like the consistently shit Prem teams like Southampton, Leicester. So there's like tiers of like where you want to be, and you're kind of in the worst.
Maybe we should do like a little video about it and crack on with that.
James Lawrence Alcott, come on.
Come talk about QPR.
While we're on the Championship, I want to start a new segment on the pod, and it's going to be, that's made me happy. I haven't thought of a good name of it.
You talking about? I know what you're talking about.
Ken Sema came out after the Watford game. He had an absolutely class game.
Scored 2 goals.
Came back from an injury.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals in Watford's 3-2 win over West Brom. I didn't know he had a stammer. But he came out, did the post-match interview.
English is not his first language either.
Yeah, so not English first language, Swedish.
Has a stammer, yeah.
Has a stammer. And so, he's doing a post-match interview. So he's obviously adrenaline high during the match, probably knackered. He's come out, post-match, done an interview in a language that's not his first language, with a stammer.
And outstanding.
And honestly, it was just so sick to see.
It was heartwarming to see.
Like, it's just cool to see that, like,
it's so
people
important.
that you look up to.
It's
like,
so
imagine
important.
if you're
like,
a kid,
if you're a kid in Watford now,
with a stammer, and you just see like a player, you think footballers are just like these gods that are like gifted.
That's it.
And you think, oh no, he's got a stammer. That's fine. I've got a stammer. Who cares?
Yeah, maybe that's a nice little segment to add in.
Before we go on to our weekly stinker predictions.
The predictions. Who have we got coming up this weekend? Predictions. Oh mate, kicking off with a stinky one Friday. Actually, every time I look at Fulham, I say stinky,
and they're like the best team in the league.
They are unbelievable.
Yeah,
they're unbelievable.
Yeah, no. That's a Fulham win, isn't it?
Fulham versus Wolves. I don't really know.
Is Mitro still out? I know he was out last game.
I think Silver said it's a minor injury.
Yeah, I
so
think he was
close
close to starting last game, so he'll probably start this game.
So yeah, Lopetegui. I'm still unsure about him and Wolves. I'm not.
I'm so certain they'd beat Bournemouth. For them to lose 1-0 to Bournemouth is wobbly.
I'm going for a 1-0 Fulham.
I'm gonna go I was gonna do like an asterisk on mine if Mitro's playing, but I won't. I'll just go 2-0 Fulham.
Everton versus Villa kicking off Saturday. Oh no, they're all 3 o'clock. There's no early kickoff.
No.
Sad.
I saw a tweet. Arsenal's next 3 games, none of them are TV watchable, which is fucked. Imagine
be a real fan and go to the ground.
Imagine being title charging Arsenal.
Can't even watch again.
And you can't even watch the game. Fucked.
Everton versus Villa. Sean Dyche versus Unai Emery. I like Dyche.
I think this will be a good game. You know?
I think this will be a good game. I think this might be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-0.
I like the idea of a draw. But I think... What do I think? I think Villa are going to lose this. I'm going to go 1-0 Everton.
Okay.
What did you say?
I said 1-0, Yeah, I think... I like what I saw from Villa against Arsenal. And
yeah, so do I.
But I also think Everton have been on the up. So
yeah.
Leeds versus Southampton.
This is the opposite. 2 pretty stinkers.
Well, I mean, Southampton just beat Chelsea.
Are they both managerless at the moment? They are, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I saw it confirmed. I think the Prem tweeted it. Leeds signed Javi Garcia.
Oh,
ex-Watford manager.
Yeah.
So they might. If that's confirmed, Leeds aren't managerless, but
yeah, Southampton done all right without a manager.
And I think Southampton are keeping in that guy that is their sub-manager.
Assistant manager,
So I can't remember who he is, but
I'm going to go for... I just don't know. They're both pretty poor. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, I think Leeds concede too many goals for it to be a 0-0 draw. I'm going to go... Oh, I'm also going to go for... Oh, am I? No, I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds, okay.
Yeah, God, shut the bed there. I was all over the place.
Big one, Leicester versus Arsenal, away at King Power.
Yes.
For the Gooners.
On Leicester, it was weird, the Leicester-Man United game, because I went into that game thinking it'll be a tight game, and if you look at it on the surface, 3-0, you think, oh, Leicester got smashed. The first half, Leicester were all over Man United, but they just couldn't.
They had a good result the week before, didn't
they? The goal to save their life. Yeah, against Villa, they won 4-2. So yeah, Leicester do scare me. Madison's back fit, and he looks quality. Harvey Barnes, always a problem. The new Tete Giza, decent. Ian Acho, decent. So Leicester do worry me. But you can't concede 3 to Man United and there not be a problem there. Like, Man United weren't even that good, and you're conceding 3. I like Harry Suter. I think he's a good signing.
Yeah.
And him and Fayez, I think, can be a good defensive unit. But they conceded 2 last in the
Villa.
Aston Villa game. Before that, conceded 2 again. Conceded 3 this game. Villa, if you can get them, and arguably we're one of the best attacking teams in the league.
Arguably, you are top of the table.
Yeah, but I don't think we scored the most goals, is where I was going
All
with
right,
that.
where you going with the result?
Sorry. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal, I think. West Ham versus Forest. Quite an interesting game here. Forest on the up. West Ham, pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I couldn't give less a fuck about this game.
Yeah, I might go for I think I might go for a 1-0 West Ham. Actually, no, I'm going to 2-1 West Ham. Maybe against the grain there.
Yeah, West Ham need a result, didn't they? I think I saw a tweet that said, sorry, I just go off on a bender whenever we talk about one. But I saw a tweet that said, if West Ham don't win this game, David Moyes gets a sack. So
yeah,
it's a big game, but I think Forest, they're looking too good to be a pushover. I'm going, what did you say, 2-1 West Ham? I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay. Man City playing their another newly promoted side. I say new promoted, we are over halfway through the season, but it still fits.
Yeah.
But they're playing Bournemouth. I don't think they can do what they've done against Forest again. I think
they're
going
to be angry.
I think they're going to smash Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a 5-0.
Yeah, I think they're going to be angry. They do have Champions League. Who are they playing? Leipzig? I can't remember.
Maybe.
They got Champions League tomorrow night. But yeah, I do reckon even Man City's B team, as Bournemouth, decent result against Wolves, and they look okay, not great. But I think even Man City's B team smash them 3 or 4-0. I'm going to go 3-0 Man City.
Crystal Palace with Liverpool, and I think this game will be Liverpool offer 2 really good results. Obviously, the Newcastle game we didn't get a chance to talk about, and the week before that they beat 2-0.
Who, Liverpool?
Yeah.
So they've beaten Newcastle and they beat. Let me see if I can back up on this.
I can't remember now. Was it Everton?
Oh yeah.
Everton.
Yeah.
So they beat Everton, and mate, they've been looking devastated on the counter attack. Nunez with an absolute vicious strike. Gakpo getting involved.
Darwin Nunez, I think he's a chaos baller, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's one of those players.
He said in a recent interview that his second season is always better than his first season.
Like he just will always cause you problems. He's so big, so strong, so fast. If he could get the finishing of a Haaland, he'd be probably one of the best in the world. But he hasn't got that finishing. But that's okay. I'm
going to go for a 2-1 Liverpool. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Liverpool continue their good run.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. Oh, my mic's gone. But I'm going to give it to Liverpool 3-0.
Sunday, Spurs, Chelsea, London derby. Oh, this is 2 stinky teams. Spurs back and forth, though.
Yeah, Chelsea fans, they used to call White Hart Lane 3-point lane.
But now it's the new Tottenham Stadium.
But Chelsea do have a good record at Spurs. But this Chelsea is a mess.
Yeah.
You can't lose to statistically the worst team in the league.
Spending 600 million.
You can't.
Billion pounds.
Spurs will see this as like their best opportunity to kind of put that record that they've got against Chelsea to bed.
I think Harry Kane might do something here. I'm going to go for a 1-0.
I see it here. 1-0.
He'll score a goal.
Yeah.
Is what I mean.
I reckon Spurs will do them. I'm going to go 3-2 Spurs.
I mean, the last time.
I hope that's a good game.
The last time these guys met, it was the Tuchel Conte.
With the handshake. Yeah.
Moving on to Wednesday. Wow, throwing us into the future. The 1st of March. Wow, what the month of the BoreDraw Euro Tour.
Fucking come on.
Arsenal versus Everton. Rematch. I can't see Arsenal losing it again. I'm going 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, I fucking hope we don't lose. I'm going to go 3-0.
Liverpool Wolves to round us off.
I said this. We've seen Liverpool versus Wolves about 14 times this season.
What's your prediction?
This is going to be a different one. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool as well.
Very good.
Round off with the same result. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been BoreDraw episode 36. It's been a lot of waffle in this episode, but it's also been some good shit.
You love it. Follow all the socials.
Really. The BoreDraw Euro Tour is coming up fast and furiously.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. This will come out after we do our live stream for the Champions League, but we're doing a live stream for the Champions League. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk about the BoreDraw Euro Tour
in the live stream.
So yeah, join us.
Get involved. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow all our socials down in the description below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, it's been BoreDraw, and it's live.